Tribulations. My name is Raguestaguis, otherwise known as Keith. I'm coming to you now in hopes and regards for a little awareness. Now, this is taking me out of my comfort zone. I'm not much of a public figure, especially on a live stream, so I ask that anybody that's paying attention, I ask that you please pardon me. This is way out of my comfort zone for those that know me. But it is mandatory. The reason why it's mandatory, and I feel as though it's mandatory, is there's awareness lacking everywhere in this world. There's division, there's separation, there's anger, there's jealousy. There's a lot of natural occurrences that a lot of people don't understand, such as the good and bad in life. Money's never changed that. Alcohol and drugs never changed that. Good and evil's been here from day one for those that don't understand. And that's just speaking through my heritage. Not to get off topic, but my main goal in this first public life is to bring awareness that's hidden from my own people. My own people are suffering a lot of tremendous confusion, trauma, and it's time to speak out because the confusion is getting out of hand now.
You gotta go through trials and tribulations to reach your maximum potential and success. You're now tuned in. Trials and tribulations to success. Powered by Tuscarora Fairgrounds. Aired weekly at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tune in and get your life right. Tuscarora Fairgrounds.
Yeah. So,
well, this is your show now.
you know what I mean? Oh.
Nah, people.
So
like
we're here, yo. We're here. Yo.
Exactly. Like I said, guy, we back here on Trials and Tribulations. You got me, you got KP, and you got
DJ M80.
the show here is going to be a little bit different here. You know what I mean? We got the one that you guys been all waiting for. A lot of you've been asking. You know what I mean? What's the purpose of you guys even having that podcast?
Well, this is where it derived from, right here.
I guess you could
mans.
say my story now. I'm not going to put too
Big
much
story.
I'm not going to put too much out there because I am in the process of writing my book. My a little bit about my life story. You know what I mean?
It's dope.
It's gonna be done through third party. Okay. You know, outside eyes from not KP or anything else, but like a little native boy, I guess you could say.
Dope.
So like I said, this episode is not. It's gonna get deep. It's gonna get deep. You know what I mean? But there might be a lot that I jumped over because, like I said, right now I'm in the process of starting from younger, going back to where we are now. You know what I mean? And
Long road.
get your brain tired out, man. Get your brain tired out.
Let's put it on the table, man. Let's put it on the table. Let's give these people something to look up for, man, because definitely, man, you've done some amazing stuff.
Well, I
since
guess you
I've
could
been
say
involved with
my
you.
story started like this.
How was it growing up? Our favorite question. That's how we started every time.
I guess you could say I made things difficult.
Keep the mic in front of you.
Growing up on Tuscarora territory on Sanborn, New York, I guess I grew up a little more difficult by choice. I didn't have to do the things I did, but I did because I guess you could say I was self-driven.
Okay.
So I started out as a child back in the 87s, ripping and running. I come from Tuscarora to where there's no running water, there's no running electric. There's a lot of things that natural resources that my people are lacked. So there's a little more things that we have to do. Such as when it comes to bowel movements and all that. Not everybody has running water to get their feces out. So a lot of kids have to carry the bucket out. People fail to realize that in 2023 that we're in now.
20th century. Yeah.
So I guess you could say I grew up. I grew up poor. You know what I mean? Because a lot of my native families, and whether it's blood or not, it's just native in general, is a traumatized descent of, you know what I mean, ethnicity. You know, we've been oppressed. There's so much more that we've been bottled up, and you know what I mean. The traumatized that a native has is not saying more than the Africans or anything else. You know what I mean? But what really bothers me, I guess you could say, is you can look at all these little native bodies that they found. I think we're up to about 15,000. I don't even know, but they were found under these residential schools.
Wow.
And
Recent years.
I mean, yeah, from Canada to now, and it's crazy because my people keep claiming every child lives matter, but yet we have yet to do anything about this. We can address it and we can, you know, publicize it. You know what I mean? The count keeps getting higher. The count keeps getting higher. But what are we doing about it?
Wow.
We can't even unite ourselves. You know what I mean? To format some type of justification of why the government has these even, you know what I mean, valid.
Right. Government, like, put a blanket over your head. You know what I mean?
I mean, not really. They're digging up these grave sites that are formed on these old residential schools, and it still have yet. It's just like, oh, well, here's another one. I mean, look at what Kathy Hochul just did now to the natives. She just overruled one of the rulings for our burial sites. Before, back in the historical days, you know what I mean, they're saying that our burial sites are spiritual and not to be touched with. And she just passed a bill saying that she just vetoed a bill that was in effect for that, to protect those rights.
So what do you mean? Like, what is she getting out of it? Like,
What did she get out of oppressing the Senecas for 500 some millions of dollars to build a Bill Stadium?
So basically,
nothing against Buffalo Bills, you know what I mean? But at least put a roof over that so you guys could hold a Super Bowl.
So they basically did that so that they could build over it, or
honestly, I really don't know the backdrop behind all that. You know what I mean? I just know that they did it, and to me, it looked like a format. You know, hey. You know
right,
what I mean?
basically a power move, like on some.
But yeah, they can breach the contract that they have for that. You know what I mean? And that's touching bases on the gaming license that New York State and the Seneca Nation of Natives made an agreement with. And that agreement was that the Senecas only have the sole rights of gaming for 20 some years of beginning. Like before that contract was up, Batavia Downs is already up. Hamburg Fair is already up.
Right.
It's a breach of a contract right there. Like, so does it really matter what you put on paperwork?
Wait, so Hamburg and Batavia, those aren't native owned?
No.
I never knew that.
But yeah, they were.
So those are New York
They were-
State owned.
Yes, they were open and running within the terms of the agreement that the Senecas did. So you know what the Senecas did? They said, well, you know what? We're not going to pay you any of the money that we agreed.
As they should.
Which they should, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then Kathy Hochul comes in and, you know what I mean? She says, who are you? Come on.
Yo, fucking government, bro.
So basically, like I said, back to my childhood, you know, I ripped and run around here. You know what I mean? I didn't have too much toys to play with. My toys was, you know what I mean, rocks and sticks and everything, you know what I mean? I thoroughly enjoyed that. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed, you know what I mean, the freedom that was at my hands, I guess you could say. You know, so I always explored the outdoors. You know, I come from a very connected family, you know, so learning the plants and everything of what's out there for us and what's susceptible to take and not, you know what I mean? It's not forced on us, but, you know what I mean? I was one of the little kids that kind of interest me, you know?
So you know about nature and survival skills, basically.
Yes.
That gave you survival skills, you know what I'm saying?
100%, you know what I mean? 100%. And not too many people have those common sense skills nowadays.
Not at all. The fucking internet gave people like zombie.
Yep, just here's
everybody's
here's
zombies. Yeah.
Here's a hack for life.
Yeah, life hacks. They want to survive, right?
So like I said, that was a little bit of my childhood.
How did school work out here?
At the age of 12, or roughly somewhere in there, Mama Bear came to me and she tried to scare me. She tried to scare me. She tried. I was in Mom's household. My dad wasn't there. He was a raging alcoholic. You know that's all he cared about. Very abusive. You know, so I kind of had a disturbing childhood. You know, made me grow a lot of resentment towards my dad, which I had to drop myself. The resentment I had built up for my own thoughts towards my dad, probably at about the age of 16. Now we'll touch base on that, but you know, so all these years, these trauma that I was inflicted by my dad to my mom and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? It created a little monster, I guess you could say.
Monster, yeah. Going through stuff that young definitely will sets the tone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To being an adult as well.
Yeah, I guess you could say I had to grow up quick.
Right.
You know, I had to learn the fundamentals of making the decisions.
Right.
You know, so
Good ones and bad ones, possibly, huh?
Yeah, and no matter what wave you popped on, you know, that's now I understand that, you know. I used to question life as it came, and you know what I mean, I used to always do those just things that you wouldn't normally do as a child, you know.
Like what?
challenge energy, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like I said, I'm native, you know what I mean? I'm Haudenosaunee. I belong to the Iroquois Confederacy. You know, my band is the Tuscaroras. We're warriors. We're all warriors, you know. The warriors are the sovereign ones that govern the body as a whole in our whole country, in our country, I guess you could say.
Society.
Yes. So it's a very strong role, you know. And like I says, with all the trauma and everything that we've been inflicted upon over the years, you know what I mean, it kind of changes our roles. You know, it colonized our thinkings. You know, we got swayed away with drugs and alcohol. You know, prime example are people back in the day. We have these agreements. It's called treaties.
Right.
Treaties are done between nation to nation. China, Canada, USA, Britain, you know what I mean? All those are their own nations. They're their own entities that, you know what I mean, have the right to say, this is our rules and regulations over here. Such as the Oklahoma people, too, the Iroquois people. We have that right, too. We have to find it within ourselves to dig down and start learning this stuff, you know, because if we don't learn it, it's going to disappear.
Right. History.
And then we will be full-blown colonized with no fight to even have a voice.
They want to strip our rights, too.
100%. You know, and they do that through every format. You know, they power diseases, you know what I mean? Natural disasters. It's everything in this world doesn't just happen, bro. You know, so people fail to realize that.
Government controls all that shit.
100%. And especially when you're dealing with Mother Nature, you know what I mean? She's the almighty.
Shit, look what we just went through. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people, I got my own personal opinion on that, man. That was created.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's almost like
that was definitely created, bro. That was
chemtrails and all of that shit is real.
They really
put all that shit in the atmosphere to alter the fucking
or whatever. Bro, there's so many things to look on the computer that just it's nasty, bro.
It's almost like population control as well.
There's a good book out there. Over the years. Oh well, let's get back to the story then.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
No. Okay, so schooling. You know what I mean? I always went to school, no matter what the circumstances was. You know what I mean? And I always went to school whether it was to hook up with a girl, and it's not even on a sexual level. Like, you know what I mean? No, for real. Like,
I'm about to get comfortable now
because I forced myself, knowing that, you know what I mean, I was different. You know. So like I says, the average kid going to school, you know what I mean, to hook up with a girl is not to, you know what I mean, you're thinking you're going to have sex and this, that, the third, you know what I mean, blah, 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 blah. No, my intention of going to school, hooking up at that age, you know what I mean, early middle school, you know, early high school, it was simple fact so I can have a spot to sleep at night and a place to wash my ass.
Okay. Wow.
It wasn't intermix and, you know what I mean, for any advancements on that at all.
Okay.
It was survival, you know.
Survival, yep.
So I forced myself to go to school, bad grades, great lacrosse player.
So schooling was on the
Grades, pre-K through sixth grade is done here on Tuscarora. And then we're forced into the Edwardtown Middle School, which would be the local thing out there, which is I don't get because how can you force it? You're separating us. You
separating y'all, but don't
to
have no
sixth
schools
grade.
for y'all.
But no, but I'm just saying from pre-K to six, you just you're going to school with nothing but natives. So now at sixth grade, the kids probably what 11, 12?
Yeah,
and then they get thrown into the mix of the Edwardtown Middle School.
Social
with all the blacks, the whites, you know what I mean, the Spanish, the whole other world.
Some people probably never seen no one else, no other ethnicities.
On top of that,
That doesn't do good for kids' social. You know what I mean? Like social.
Okay, so now how can tell me how if we don't have internet, that automatically even recesses you even more.
Yeah.
So this is what we as Tuscaroras go through out here, and people fail to realize that.
I just honestly, being involved, I just learned how deep. It is.
I mean, but people don't talk about it. You know what I mean? This platform was created because of people, and I'm finally glad that I'm getting a little bit out there. You know what I mean? With the story of this, because it's so heartening that the stuff that my people went through, and we still go through now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the clash between. We'll get to that one.
The world needs to know, yo.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. I'm not done fighting. Like you know what I mean. People are like, oh, you're doing really good things. Honestly, I haven't really even reflected upon what I've done yet because I'm nowhere near what I have to accomplish.
Everyone has their own goals in life. Some people might think that you hit your goals and it's like, yo, I got bigger dreams to hit. You know what I'm saying? I got bigger goals to hit. Bro, I got different roads that I'm trying to pave. You know what I mean?
It's funny because people be like, oh yeah, I see your vision. I see your vision. I mean, honestly, I have a vision, but I really don't. My vision is just going through each motion that I know that has to happen.
Right.
So it's like, do you really see my vision, or you here with me? You know what I mean? So when it's
one thing I can say, you've done a lot for your people in the past. It ain't even been a whole year yet.
November 4th, 2022, what it was exactly a year from the time that the business opened to the evolving of everything. You know what I mean? Like I says, it was a shell shocker. It was a speedball that came out of left field, coming right down. I'm surprised I still got hair.
Stress. You got hair as long as it's not gray either, though.
Yeah.
So you're handling the stress well.
So now back to school. We get forced into, intermixing with all these other things, which should have been done the grade before in fifth grade, like everyone else goes. Because you talk about middle school is 5th, 6th, 7th. Oh, wait, no. 6th, 7th, 8th. Excuse me.
Yeah. 6th, 7th, and 8th. Yep.
Yeah, so we're forced over there at 7th grade, pardon me. So when they should have go over there.
7th grade, not 6th grade.
There's a lot of local elementary schools that only go through pre-K through 5. 6th, 7th, and 8th is middle school.
Oh.
So they get together, kids, you know what I mean? You know how they are. So now these kids, these native kids that are coming from here to there, it's a whole mix up, bro. But we all know the reason for that. There's confusion, you know what I mean? It's like we don't want you to like this black person. We don't want you like this white person. We don't want you like this red person. So it's the way they create it, you know what I mean? So they're naturally creating a separation within people's brains.
That and basically still fueling modern day racism.
So, like I said, that was 6th grade. This is when I really started getting adventurous. My mom, she started taking sports away from me because she noticed I was being bad. I was slipping out, and like I said, she tried to scare me and said when she said you listen, Keith, you got two options. You can live in my household and abide by my rules, or you can move out. And at that age, you know what I mean, for me to process that,
it's challenging. She challenged you.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And at that age, you know what I mean?
Don't challenge me. Like,
right.
And that's what people fail to realize with even now. Don't challenge me. Like, you know what I mean? So at that age, my mom, she did that. And what I did as a kid, I went to my room, packed all of my little knapsack up, and put my little stick on the rope and my bag at the end there. And I hit the road. I gave her a hug. I said, well, Mom, I'll always love you. You know what I mean? You're my mother, you know what I mean? But I'm out of here. So I was bumping and grinding, going to school, you know what I mean? And this is where my whole life really started changing because at that time I started processing life. And I had a best friend named Lucas who did me wrong later in life, you know what I mean? But we make our own decisions. And at this time now, I'm on my own, and I think it's like, can't really recall the age, 13, whatever.
You were on your own at 13.
This is after my mom.
This is after you left your mother's house.
So me and Lucas were really close. We used to always tell everybody we're twins. We were twins, you know what I mean? It's funny because we were born in the same hospital. You know what I mean? He's my cousin and everything, but we're born in the same hospital a day apart, hours apart, 2 different days.
Basically brothers, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then we really look alike. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit more chubbier now, but
I seen those the old pics you put up the other day too.
yeah. So now, like I said, I'm at this age now where I make decision to go out of my mom's house, and I'm really reflecting on my life. Like, from what I was as a kid, I guess you could say, you know, I mean, we don't have running water, so you know what I mean. I'm not saying that we're street inclined, city inclined natives. You know what I mean, like kids. So I remember having this thought. I'm just like, man, what am I gonna do in life when my mom dies? What am I gonna do in life when my dad dies? You know what I mean? I started thinking about life. You know what I mean? And what I want out of it. And I'm just like, man, what the heck? And this was young. This was real young. And I'm just like, well, I guess this is the road I have to go down. Like, you know what I mean? Take it as it comes. So I start my journey as a criminal, you know. I never really had the patience to drug deal. You know what I mean? I've always been a hothead that, don't talk to me. Like, don't talk to me. Who you looking at? You know what I mean?
I can relate to that.
And it's funny because I was that real tough guy that don't fuck with him. Like, you know what I mean? I'll call my big cousin. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it got to a point to where that grew on me as an addiction. I started seeing people's fears in, like, when I come around.
Because it gave you power. You know?
You know what I mean? So it was a self imagery of what I seen in myself. And I didn't even realize it. You know, we used to go to parties, and I'm burning myself with cigarettes, you know what I mean, to give people the mental impression that you really don't want to fuck with this guy, because if he's self-mutilating himself, well, imagine what he'd do to me. You know what I mean?
Shit, cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
You
like
know what I
the
mean? I got the fucking scars right here.
It's like the cutting thing.
So I put a lot of false imagery of who I thought I was, and it put me in a real fucked up position at the age of 16. I just turned 16. Me and this kid named Kenny Doherty. We fucking he's older than me, and I always was influenced by the older people, you know, because I always wanted to fit in. I was a people pleaser. You know, so right from the age of, like, I guess you could go back a little bit to like 7, 8 years old. You know, we have these national picnic days out here, and I remember all the teenagers all sitting over around this big. They're by the bridge, and there's a pond, a little water stream down there, and silly me want to be over there and people please and clown, and I go up on top of the railing and I do a belly flop in this little tiny puddle about this big.
Oh shit!
But they're all older, you know what I mean? I was mad young, and I'm talking about teenagers, like 15, 16. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, this kid's crazy. You know what I mean? So I see this as a kid, and I'm just like, yeah, you know. So that it stuck with me. You know, I'm a very observant individual. I've always been like that. So back to the age of 16, you know, I finally I committed a fucking armed robbery. Just turned 16
on Tuscarora.
Right here on Tuscarora. Yeah, I took arms up against my own people. You know, and it's funny because me and my co-defendant, I've always been straight up. I don't give a fuck who the fuck you are. You know what I mean?
You did that out of survival, though.
No, I started to get involved in pills.
Okay.
You know, I started trying to hide my pain as a kid, you know. So I started venturing off and doing pills, you know, hydros, and I remember I did an OxyContin one time. This is when and I don't know what the hell I was thinking, man. I puked my brains out for freaking days, like, you know what I mean? So this is what I was accommodating as a kid, you know what I mean? Thinking that this is okay.
At the age of 16.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's dangerous shit right there.
But all the pain I had was upon myself. I didn't have to do those things, you know what I mean? I didn't have to get out of my mom's house, you know what I mean? So really, I start making excuses early is what I realize now. You know, and I realized that I start hiding behind different things, and I start pointing the finger at things. And my criminal behavior got out of control. It became an addiction for me.
So basically, you committed the robbery to fuel your addiction, so you could get money for it.
Well, like I says, I start doing drugs. I guess you could say, and then that wasn't enough. I become an adrenaline junkie, doing shit cold, sober, like just bizarre
thrill.
Yeah, like bizarre stuff that now I'm just like, hey, you are a meatball, bro. Like, you are a real cold meatball. That it's thankful to be where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's glad because people are like, why you got that podcast? Like, you know what I mean? What's your tribulations to your success? A lot of people don't know my things.
People don't know. Well, now you know.
So, but like I said, I started getting involved in criminal activity. I committed an armed robbery against my own people out here. It was me and Kenny Doherty. Long story short, blah blah blah. I end up he was older than me. We committed the robbery. Get chased out of there. My little heart's racing at that time. I've never really been involved in something so.
You said
crazy,
you had the burners on you and all that.
Yeah, like. So it's for the simple fact that we put the police on a high-speed chase, and then we end up ditching the car. It's like February. And you're talking about February, that was
cold.
Winter. Back then, now we don't get snow here. You know what I mean?
Back then, we had the fucking...
So you're talking about February. I put these police on like a 6-hour chase.
6 hours?
Yes. And
damn, bro.
It wasn't the eye-opener that I should have looked at. It was, I dodged a bullet. I almost died.
I was just
I almost died in the woods. Trying to escape. You know what I mean? For whatever reason,
you're lucky to be here, bro.
Yeah, I ended up jumping in this water in that police chase. It's funny because my buddy got knocked right away. I was the driver and ditched the car. He ended up getting knocked with everything, and one of the police had their thing on, and you know what I mean. It's kind of disheartening, you know what I mean. But if I put myself in a situation, I guess that's what I do. You know what I mean. I can help what the next people do in life.
So you say you jumped in water when you was running.
So I fall down this big ass hill. I swim across Bonds Lake. I fell through the ice.
Through the ice?
Yeah. And I make it to the other side. I circle back. I start puking out. My adrenaline's running. You know what I mean? Hypothermia is starting to set in. And I'm almost back to my mom's house. I get to my mom's house. And I come running right to the edge of the bushes. And now, mind you, February, I'm running the snow up to my waist, man.
Yeah.
And I don't even realize it because my adrenaline's rushing. I got to get away from the police. You know what I mean? Like, I know what just happened. There's no question about that. So I get to the edge of the bushes, and I look at my mom's house, and they got everything surrounded.
They knew you were going there.
They're making sure, you know what I mean? As soon as I see it, I'm gone. Took off from me again, you know what I mean? It wasn't until then that the canine caught me. He wasn't sniffing nothing, so I wouldn't give him the award-winning Oscar for the best nose.
Did he bite you?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's how the chase ended. 6 hours, you know what I mean? Finally, I get down to the bottom of the hill again, and finally the dog catches me.
6 hours.
When the dog caught me, the police wasn't around. He's just chasing my trail, you know what I mean? He's just hopping through my trail. He knows who's chasing me. So I had to do a tactic that I learned over the years, you know what I mean? Being a dog lover, of how to not get killed by this fucking canine, like, you know what I mean?
Right. They go for the throat, too.
Well,
German shepherds.
Canines are trained to, you know what I mean, to prevent a criminal from getting away. So when they lock, you know what I mean, when they shake, they have that jaw that just keeps squeezing. I ain't gonna say what I did. I ain't gonna put it out there, you know what I mean? But I held the dog off for a little bit, you know what I mean, until the police got there. And it was because they're like, oh, what the what? You know, I got their fucking dog right here, and he's whining.
That's another charge too, though. Basically, because the dogs are considered cops.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I wasn't.
You didn't hurt the dog. Yeah.
I'm stopping it from
Stopping
trying to
from
hurt
fucking
me,
you
know
up.
what I mean? Here's your dog, take me. Here's your cuffs. You know what I mean?
Give me the cuffs.
But it's funny because when they caught me, they're like, "You're lucky we caught you, not the native that you robbed." He's pretty mad. You know what I mean? He's like,
So were these like outside of Tuscarora police, or were these police from Tuscarora?
yes. Police have always thought they had the jurisdiction out here, and that's where I stand with something different against them. You know what I mean? But yes, it was the outside police that came.
Okay.
So when they came in, you know what I mean? Mind you, 6 hours running from the police, cross water, cross snow up to my waist. I got one shoe on, one shoe off. One of my pant legs is frozen all the way up to my knee. They took me down to booking.
That's that old school winter.
They took me down, yeah, when you could ride a snowmobile.
Right.
They took me down to the sheriff's office here and took them like an hour and some change for my pants at the frost, pat me down, like, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, man, what the fuck is
Yeah,
wrong
you're
with
lucky
you?
you
almost
didn't
died, bro.
Yeah, hypothermia, bro.
And at that time, I'm 16. You know, I got an ego fucking bigger than a goddamn elephant's ass. You know what I mean? So
I relate to that shit.
So now I go to jail. I get bailed out. The person that I robbed, you know, he's a very tough individual. You know what I mean? Good dude, though. My co-defendant goes and writes him a letter. Hey, I'm sorry that you know what I mean?
That's probably
Sends the letter out.
probably not going to help with the tough guy, man.
So me being me, you know what I mean? Let's talk about grown man. I'm 30, 40 years old now. Not me, the other guy. I show up to Clan League. They have a basketball league out here. I show up there. Come here.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So I say, man, I said, I'm not my boy, you know what I mean? I'm coming to you like a man. So if you really want to squash this, you know what I mean? I'm apologizing, you know. I'm not making an excuse, but I need help.
Right.
You know
Did you do time? And I don't even want to be the one to ask you.
That was
No
my,
police shit, but did you do time for that? Like
Yeah.
when they caught you and all that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That was my first college run.
You ain't got to go too deep.
No, that's my first college run. You know what I mean? It was coming through. I guess you say Wendy, Elmira, the natural reception things. You know,
You did real time. You said Wendy and Elmira?
Yeah, it was state time.
Okay. Damn.
It was
What did you rob them for? Like, I mean, not for, but like, what was it? What did you, money or?
It was their gas station.
Oh, you hit the gas station.
Yeah. Yep, I hit the gas station.
So that's grand larceny right there. On top of,
not really. That was armed robbery.
so shit. Yeah. Damn.
that was armed robbery.
I forgot you said
But
that.
it got dropped down. You know what I mean? I was just turned 16. I used my youth
YO.
offender, and you know what I mean. So I ended up going away.
His shit was here on here though, right? So I thought you guys govern yourselves though. I'm not saying like that, you guys.
That's all in the public, I guess you could say, because yeah, that'd be treason laws against something else. You know what I mean? Because how can you say that your sovereignty and this, all the other third, and that's where I stand now with all this education I have, and you know what I mean? Because that's been my biggest fight, saying you guys don't have jurisdiction. Yeah, I did the fucking crime. I'm not saying not. I'm saying you guys tried me wrongfully. You guys tried me in the wrong jurisdiction.
Now, how have it been by the books? How would have it turned out?
See the way our rules and regulations
by y'all ways. And I'm not saying it like
the
that.
Warrior
just,
Society.
you know
the Warriors. Remember back to the Warriors. I'm a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors stand up, and if it's something that's really detrimental, you know what I mean. And the only thing that we really look at bad as detrimental is like rape and all the other stuff. You know, rape, murder. As far as you get assault and all the other stuff, you know, what I mean, that's naturally, you know what I mean. So it go into the selfly council, I guess you say Tuscarora Council, and they make their decisions. And if they feel as though they don't want to prosecute you, they let you go, or you know what I mean. Technically, they're supposed to allow this. And if not, then they can turn you over to the outside government.
So they turn you over. So yeah, there's not like jails here.
No.
Anything like that. Okay.
No, but they should turn you properly over to the proper change of command. You know what I mean? It'd be the federal government, because the federal government is one that oversees everybody.
And that's who you guys have treaties with. It's the federal, not state.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And that's, yeah.
State is divided for the smaller portions of the country.
So you should have been tried
In federal
in
jurisdiction.
federal.
And if you guys want to look it up, it's called 28 USCA. That clearly defines Indian country in their own text.
Gotcha.
So,
I'm learning.
So I go to college, you know what I mean? I'm looking at these big ass fucking prison. You know, I'm like, holy.
So you graduated from high school? Oh, college. Oh, okay, that college.
Yeah, prison. I called it college.
Okay.
You know, I got kids, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to say I was a bad guy. You know what I mean? I didn't want to. So I used to always call it college. I'm going to get my education.
Shit, you get your education in jail though too.
By choice. By choice.
You have to have.
They have a lot of programs in there, and that's where I really sat down. And not that bid. I've done previous. Altogether I got 4 state bids in. I got 4 different DIN numbers. You know what I mean? Now I'm 35 years old. I've given them over half my life, whether it be through paper or incarceration. You know, so I've given over half my life in there, and it wasn't until this last bid that I really got educated. I started wanting to learn, and I started wanting to learn for the wrong reasons. I start studying law in prison for to help with my I guess you could say
What's your case?
Yeah, my case, but my shit that I was doing, like, you know what I mean? It was a comfort barrier. So I start learning, you know what I mean?
What you could get away with and what you can't, kind of thing.
Uneducated thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm doing this over here, so I'm gonna, you know what I mean, protect myself this way.
Right.
Oh, you want to fuck with my religion? That's my First Amendment.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was like a game for me. It was a capitalistic game for me to play with inside the prison walls. And ultimately, you know what I mean? Now I'm thankful for it because I don't use it for the ways that I have in the past, you know what I mean? And I really took a deep look at myself this time. And back to what I was saying about my dad. You know, I really resented him, what he did to my mom. You know, he physically abused her, and you know, I had a lot of pain in there. So it wasn't really until this last bid that I really forgave him. Now, mind you, he passed on my second bid. He died when I first got locked up. You know what I mean? So this is after that I'm speaking about. You know, all these years I used to hate him. I hated him. You know what I mean? And then finally I'm just like, you know what?
Because a lot of that torment was instilled with you
From him.
and that led you down that path. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I feel that.
You know, so now that I sit there and I look and I hate my fucking dad's guts, you know what I mean? How can I hate the man that brought me into this world, whether it was a mistake or whatever, no matter what? How can I hate him?
Right.
Because then that just shows that
How deep it was.
I don't love myself.
Yo, that's a different way to look at it, bro.
He brought me into this world. I love myself right now. Truly. So I have to love him. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here.
You won't be here.
So at that moment, when I made that decision with myself that it's not his fault, I can sit here and blame the world. You know what I mean? You can blame a rat for a rat, but you know what I mean? How does this rat know this information? You slipped up. So you got to be smarter. You know what I mean? And that's why I start looking at things in life. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, my dad, he went through Desert Storm and all this other stuff, messed him up in the head, and you can make up the excuses, or you could be the one to try to start breaking those walls down and you know what I mean? So that's where I really started exploring myself. I start crying, learning how to cry.
Learn how to cry.
You know,
That's
because
man.
I was a little boy that raised myself that you don't do those things.
As a tough guy. I learned about that too.
You know what I
Be
mean?
crying my ass off in the closed doors, yo.
Nah, it don't matter, bro. I cry now. I cry now, and
You're human, bro. You're
that's
human.
What humans.
It's a human thing. It's a
That's right.
cleanse. It's a soul cleanse. That's what that is for a man.
And people fail to realize
You
that.
know what I'm
I mean?
saying?
And now, like I said,
And I got hands and he got hands and we be crying, son.
I ain't got, he's lying. He's lying. I ain't got no hands.
You got hands, yo.
No, I don't. No, I don't. But like I said, I learned all this stuff. And back to a little bit about the prison thing. They become an addiction too, because you know the first one is the fear of when you see that big ass long stretch. You're like, holy shit, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Then you learn about it.
And then the next time it's like right back here, right back here. Like
The
it's not
revolving
even
door syndrome.
It's not even scary. It's not like,
Because you know what to expect after you experience it for the first time.
you know what I mean.
You learn the ways of how shit works.
And then you learn that if you become a lion in the kingdom, you know what I mean. Anything's
You can
possible.
survive that shit. You can run that
So
shit.
it's like
I know what you mean.
So it became that revolving door that I liked. You know, I was the man. Excuse me. So,
At that age, you felt powerful there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
unstoppable.
Yeah.
And it grew on me in the wrong way. Like I said, I had previous bids after that. Oh, excuse me. Wow.
Just like water.
Yes.
Grab him
Please.
water, babe. My beautiful assistant, grab
Thank
the
you.
boss man of water.
I think they're in there.
Room temp ones is in there. The cold ones should be in there.
I'll take a room temp.
It's better for your vocal cords too.
Nah, so it became an addiction for me, and I started liking going back and forth to jail. Every time I got out of jail, I got out with intentions. I got to make up for lost time. You know what I mean?
Right. And while you're doing that, you're making the wrong decisions, obviously. But while you're in jail, though, and a lot of the times that I hear about the, like I said, the rotating door syndrome, they call it,
Yep.
is because you found the camaraderie and the sense of family in jail, right?
100%. 100%.
So that's probably what you became used to, is actually belonging to a family in jail, correct?
Yep.
Right.
Because, like I said, I branched out when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I took that
That's
decision
you started off young, bro, on your own.
real young.
I was in and out of mom's crib like 16-ish. You know what I mean? But 13, that's a whole nother story, man. Just getting hair on your balls, you know what I mean? That's young,
that was bad.
That's young. I understand.
So, like I says, back and forth to prison. Completed parole a few times. And, like I said, I learned that asset of law. And I'm pretty confident in my stuff, what I know. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm very, very, always eager to learn more. But I guess you could say I'm at a point in my life to where these fists don't be used no more. It's this up here.
You're able to control that shit now.
Yes.
I went through that spell as a teen, too. You know, in my interview, we talked about it.
Yep.
Point we can't control ourselves, and then you get that one last joint that teaches you that lesson, and it's like, yo, I can't move like this.
Yo, bro, but this last time that I got out of prison in 2019, and I at that time I got 5 years parole, which I just recently completed. Thank you.
Oh, you beat that.
Yes,
early.
I gave him the 2.5. With the new rules that were set in place, it was 30 for 30. I squared up. I locked myself in the door.
Congrats on it.
I locked myself in the door, and I told myself I'm getting off in 2.5 years. I'm getting off in 2.5 fucking years. I don't care what it is.
All the protocols, did everything right.
Excuse me. There were so many temptations, you know what I mean? And yeah, of course, there was a few slip-ups, you know what I mean? I got away. But I'm not saying, like, bad slip-ups. I'm talking about, you know what I mean, little late curfew violation, you know what I mean?
Right.
At that time, I was fucking scared of no fucking, you know what I mean?
You're human, and you're still, again, you gave them so much of your life, bro, and just a lot to catch.
I remember Ballistic Man and me having it on his interview there. Like, it comes to a point to where it's like, well, you start patting everybody down that gets in your vehicle, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I can't afford to go back.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to let the next person put me in jail.
Right.
You know, so it's like
Everything
everything.
by your mistake, not by somebody else's shit.
Not even by my mistake. I'm going to be able
But,
to.
again, though, if it had to be that way,
Yes.
it's got to be something that I did. Like, I'm not
100%.
about to go to jail because you got a bag of weed on you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, hell nah. Like, what you mean, bro?
Yeah.
So I got real scared. I put myself in I guess you could say a square. Squared up. And it worked. They just cut me off parole. You know what I mean? And it was kind of a fucked up journey because it was right after COVID, beginning of COVID, and man, I had 6 parole officers in the change of the thing, and it was
different choices.
Yeah.
So that last joint gave you the discipline you needed, right?
This last bid, yes.
Yeah.
This last bid.
I don't even like to be on that police shit at all.
No.
But
Bro,
it's your story,
listen.
so I'm gonna ask you these things.
Yeah,
So
bro. No, it
a
doesn't
total,
matter.
And for our viewers, obviously, how many years did you give these motherfuckers, bro?
Just under 14.
14 years, and he's 35 years old. That's so out of 35 years, basically, you only got to live 21 years. Basically.
No, I was live the whole other time.
Well, obviously you're live, but your freedom. Live in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it? That's how we look at it, you know what I mean? That's just real shit.
Absolutely,
right there.
absolutely.
That's real shit. That's real
so,
shit.
like I said,
but
I got out. I was collecting cans in 2019. This last time that I told myself that I'm gonna do whatever the fuck it takes. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck it takes. You know what I mean?
it takes.
So I got out. I started splitting wood, selling face cords of wood. You know what I mean? I did that for my mental. I did that for the physical, working out, and I did that also to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to pick up a gun and, you know what I mean, go find the next drug dealer and, you know what I mean?
Hustling. That's real hustling.
I really wanted to, you know what I mean, make a difference, man.
Right.
So from the trees that start growing, you know what I mean, I started getting backlashes. Oh, look at this, these fucking selling firewood. Like, you know what I mean? Okay, what's the problem?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm cleaning up Mother Nature and, you know what I mean, I'm making a profit.
Right.
But you guys want me out here tormenting you guys again?
Nah, you hustling. That's a real hustler, right?
So I went from there. Then I start picking up the res. I start walking around the whole territory and picking up cans. You know what I mean? I was really doing it for the cans, but I want to show people that, you know what I mean? If I can get on and start picking shit up, you guys can too.
Change starts with you.
So I start picking up cans and start picking up the trash. And next you know, the dispensary things start going around. And you know what I mean? It was the new thing now, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? And it came up, and you know what I mean. From there, it just took off.
So, I know. I think. I don't know if I got all my facts straight, but you got to have some kind of to get a dispensary license a little easier. You got to have like a previous dealing with getting charged with weed. Like
that's New York State's rules. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're on sovereign land here, and
So you can basically do whatever the fuck you want over here.
no, not really. No, you know what I mean. We still got to abide by rules and regulations. You know, I mean, it's not the wild, wild west like everybody thinks it is and portrayed to be. You know, it's we still got. You know what I mean? You scan your ID to come in the store.
Yeah,
you got to be 21. You know what I mean?
Nah,
You can't
y'all
bring
fly
your kids
straight.
in. You know,
Y'all fly straight as motherfucker here.
you know what I mean. So it's like there's guidelines. You know what I mean? You can't just give a kid alcohol.
Right. Yeah.
Give him a cigarette. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? So there's rules and regulations that we got to abide by, and it's just a little different over here. Excuse me. I guess you could say everyone's really waiting for the point of see what the government kind of makes their move.
Right. So you birthed the shack. Tell us how that whole process was. Like, how did you start out? What was your moment, you know, when you birthed the shack that you were like, yo, this is what I belong to be doing?
Okay, Birthday Shack was a pop-up event that was planned, that I tried to plan. I fucking stomped the ground for. Oh man, it was such a it was my first pop-up event. And my family shut it down.
So it's family, man.
But they did it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? I kind of overstepped my own boundaries, but I did it because I want to bring awareness, and I brought awareness at that with that chess move. It was a power chess move that worked. Family shut me down from having my first pop-up weed event.
Was that your first time trying to hustle, sell weed?
That's always been in the family. You know what I mean? It's we don't look at it as a drug.
It's not. It's
Tuscarora, the Tuscarora
from the earth.
The Tuscarora people, our name is Scarura. And Scarura broken down into English does not mean Tuscarora.
What's it mean?
It means people of the hemp.
Oh shit. So you was born to be.
We are natural. We are natural hemp gatherers, the Tuscaroras. No, not the Senecas, not the Mohawks, not the Oneidas, not the Tuscaroras are the natural hemp gatherers.
You know,
So-
while we're on that, just real quick, because I'm still learning everything. Your language, what is it? What is it called?
It's part of the Iroquois, but we have our own dialect where it's just like Spanish. You know what I mean? It's like Mexican, Dominican, and
So different clans, or different.
you got the Oneidas, Tuscaroras, Senecas.
Do they have their
Cayugas.
own way of
Yes.
saying shit? So like a slang word means something else in one of them.
Like guisquis for us means like pig, and I think that's anadaga. I think guisquis means like a bullet.
Oh, okay.
So
So yeah, it's like Spanish.
Yeah. So you gotta.
You could be from Puerto Rico, say one thing, and say something to
You
a
put your
Cuban
bread-
person and fucking insult the shit out of them.
Yeah, yes, that's a
with
fact.
one word, and you don't even mean to. Okay,
So yeah, yep.
I just had to ask that, so I understand.
No, but it's crazy because we're all supposed to be able to understand each other.
My boy Ransom says "Dose wa" or something like that. Dose ya, Dose. I can't pronounce it. It's like DOSEYEYWEH. He has that on a shirt, so I don't know what it means.
It might be his name.
Dose wa, I think something like that.
Like my name is Raguestaguis. It's funny because a lot of people are like, how do you say that? It's ra. You roll the R. Guestaguis.
How's that spelled?
It's not like R A.
Right.
It's the way it is because our vowels and everything is.
I know we're off topic as fuck because I'm on some real interesting right now.
No,
is
I
it
mean, this
hard to fucking learn your language?
Bro, I know more Spanish than I do my own language.
I learned. You know
I
what?
know more Spanish than I do my. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it, but that's still part of my learning travels that I have to indulge myself more in. I guess you could say for my spiritual reasons.
One
More for my drive of what I'm doing.
One day I was on the Seneca website checking my casino
Points.
wins and losses and
Points.
shit. And I don't know what made me, but I looked up like the Seneca language and stuff, and the lady was talking. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, this has to be really hard to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So back
back to the story now.
starting off the shack.
The shack
first
was,
experience.
The shack was born. My family got together and they shut it down because I scheduled it at the Seven Clan. And for those that don't know, the Seven Clan was it was a building formatted by my grandfather and my grandmother to hold sobriety meetings, Alcoholics Anonymous specifically.
Dope.
So my family took it as a sign of disrespect that I'm bringing weed and all these people to this place of sobriety.
Basically bringing drugs too. Yeah.
I mean, that's what they were looking at it because they just didn't want me doing what I was doing. You know what I mean? But
At the time,
I respected it.
Right.
But it opened people's eyes. You know, because
Almost like how Snoop did in the 90s.
It's a fact.
Stop smoking crack, smoke this weed.
It's a fact.
So
So when I had the pop-up
that's
event,
dope.
and all my family shut me down, they're like, Keith, you should have just took it up to Jay's place. Jay's place is Tuscarora Fairgrounds, 5446 Walmore, Lewiston, New York.
Plug it in. I'm calling you Glade from now on, bro. Plug it in.
so they told me, Keith, you should have just had it up there. You know, you got so much parking, and you know what I mean. It's already an established gas station, and blah 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 blah. Okay, why didn't you
take
guys
your
Ben say that?
suggestion.
Why didn't you guys Ben say that when I wanted to talk about it? You know what I mean? So it was a whole family dispute. It was a family dispute. And
Back then, before current days, they looked at weed as drugs.
But you know what's funny is
That's
when
why
they
they
shut me
charged
down-
us crazy.
you know what's crazy is when my family shut me down,
It gave you the will to want to go harder.
they wanted me to fight. They wanted me to punch. They wanted me to do all. Bro, they came in and they was recording me.
Wow,
And I just says, you know what?
that's
okay.
some police shit.
And now, mind you, I was stomping the ground for those that don't know, marketing, promotion, all that. Did this by myself. At that time, all these other events is going on. I'm going all the way out towards here, just taking flyers over here. You know what I mean? I'm doing this. I'm hitting every single college, tagging every single car, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? So next thing you know, as everyone's getting close, they're closing up the party, all these cars are rolling, and I'm just like,
They're here for me.
yeah. And it's just like, bro, it's just like, damn, like why the And my heart was hurt, bro.
Yeah.
Because I knew what I put into it, bro.
It's always family though, bro. But again, like you said,
So I didn't let it stop me. So I said, you know what? Don't worry. In 2 weeks, my dispensary's opening up. Internally, I said that.
Word.
With the whoa. So like I said, my mom had this building at 5446 Walmart Road,
Glade.
and it was just a building. You know, my sister always wanted to put a grocery store in there, and all these other big fantastic dreams that just nobody ever acted on.
Oh.
You can dream, actions, baby. So, Mom,
Spencer's going. A shot if I've never heard a shot before. I ain't trying
No,
to
it
start.
wasn't. No,
I ain't trying to
like
start it.
No, it wasn't.
It's an acted on, baby.
So, I mean, it was a little small building. It was like the shack, literally. And it's funny because the customers still come in nowadays. They're like, man, I was here from day one. And I remember a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it started as a little tiny little room, you know what I mean? Little sardine can with a whole bunch of little sardines stuffed in it. You know what I mean? Christmas time coming around, 2020 was a year. So wait, 23, 22, 21. My brother left me for dead. No, you really didn't. It was the year that we opened up. You know what I mean? He already had his vacation planned, this, that, third, but it wasn't stopping us.
Right.
I had my security at the door. You know what I mean? He's holding me down. And we had a line, bro. I had a line like the soup kitchen. And I'm like what?
You had the strip open, son.
And now, mind you, I've never really had the patience to deal with people. You know what I mean? I was a sticker kid.
Extra. Wait. What is it? Extra introvert. How do you say it? Huh? Extroverted introvert. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm calling my brother, JP. Look what you did to me. Why would you do this?
Opening day, he's in Miami or some shit.
No, it was already open. You know what I mean? Our name's starting to take off. Boom, boom,
but it was popping.
Yeah. Start taking off. And it's me and God rest his soul is Panda, you know what I mean? It was our other little brother. You know, he passed on.
Panda.
Yeah.
Good guy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Panda been there from day one.
Yeah, he was day one.
Damn, that's dope, bro. Yeah. Panda always treat me good, bro.
Nah, he was good people, bro. Hell yeah. But nah, he was my doorman. Standing out there, making sure I was safe, you know.
He made sure I hold you
Hell
down.
yeah.
Security.
And that's where I realized where this was going. You know, I mean that was the icing. You know, bro, I remember every day for like six months straight, getting up and going right to the shack. You know, that was my life for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I knew where I wanted to go. So the shack was evolved. Concerts start flying. You know, I got this bright idea of the middle, like, I think it was January. Like May. I sat down with my cousin. I'm just like, damn, man. Tuscarora's really never had no entertainment. Like, nobody's ever did nothing for them. You know? So I start booking international concerts.
Yeah.
With my man right here. Hell yeah. The first one was Bone Thugs. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Bone Thugs and Harmony. You gave me a fiance and a baby.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And that opened the doors to a whole different level because a lot of people see my movement.
Right. So I said,
you know what I mean? A lot of people
brought the heat for the people.
You know what I mean? So it's been nothing but a learning lesson, you know.
Going on that though, because that was fucking crazy for all of us.
That was a journey, bro.
Because obviously, you know, when you start a new venture, you're learning about that venture, and
you know how many fails I have had.
Yeah, life to becoming successful. The premise of this show. You got to go through those trials and tribulations.
Bone Thugs.
So start off with that though. How was that? How was the Bone Thugs? How, you know, what happened? And I know what happened, but the people need to know what happened.
Start to finish.
Especially the haters.
I'm gonna send you some pictures.
Especially the haters. Fuck you. This is what happened behind closed doors.
That's a fact.
Niggas work really hard, or excuse my language, people work really hard to make shit
No, we
happen.
do,
So
we
this is
do.
what happened.
Like I said, I'm gonna send some. This is the man behind this, all the episodes and all the other stuff.
And I'm smoking a vape, and it's pink and yellow.
So I'm letting
I
him
don't
know.
care.
So
I was
I'm
hiding.
letting him. I'm gonna send him some pictures from the start of the projects to the ends. We had an old driving range back at the shop here, and next you know we formatted the LLC of Tuscarora Fairgrounds. Start doing the concerts, and this old driving range was overgrown. You're talking about trees. It probably hasn't been a driving range in probably 25 years.
Damn,
If not longer.
that long.
Yeah.
Driving range like golf driving, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful open field, you know what I mean? Well,
Definitely.
was.
No, it is.
So
Y'all-
I said
y'all
that-
transformed it.
So I sent the deposit. I'm just like, holy fuck, I don't even got nowhere to perform yet. But that was the fire under my ass, you know, and it got the process done. You know, we threw up the first VIP building. We had the concert. Bone Thugs, you know what I mean? They whole finagled, whatever.
So y'all cleaned out the
Whole
area
field.
that would be Tuscarora Fairgrounds. You had trees, you had overgrown grass.
It was bad.
Cleaned all that out. Built buildings, physical buildings, big ass buildings that are now our VIP sections.
Yep. Excuse me.
All right.
In a matter
I
of
just had to
6
emphasize on that.
weeks.
In 6 weeks.
And
It's fucking Superman shit.
48 hours before the concert, I get a call from their manager. Two of them we're not gonna make it. We got to substitute 2 of them.
Fuck out of here. I remember that.
But it was really strange because, like I says, from the beginning, you know, inquiring about the meet and greets and everything just sequenced to you know what I mean, a finagle right from the rip.
Yeah. Some of these entertainers are really
I mean, it's a
fucking
dog
bougie.
eat dog world, you know what I mean? And like I
Real
said,
bougie.
I'm just now getting into this. So, like I says, I'm going in. Everything I've been going into that I've created, you know what I mean? Now it's for my community.
right.
You know what I mean? It's not just for myself.
But I really want people to know how much work you put into that first show, bro, to launch this. And
Oh,
now
my goodness, bro,
it's fucking crazy. From the first to the last shows, that last show was, whew.
Yeah.
But that first show, they'll really emphasize on how much work. So, you know,
It really
they said they
paved the way.
can't put two of the entertainers. And not only was it just 2, it was 2 of the most important entertainers in
a fact.
Bone Thugs and Harmony that people know. What happened?
Beanie and fucking Philadelphia pulled up.
All right, so Bone Thugs backed out.
So we had to
And
back
we had
out.
24 hours to maybe yeah, like 24 hours, right?
Yeah, less than
24
hours.
hours.
No, less than 24
Less
hours.
than 24 hours to substitute them.
So, like I said, this has been nothing but a learning curve for myself, you, everything. It's just, it was a fun year, man. I can't wait till this next year. I really can't. But they didn't pull up. We had Philadelphia and Beanie pull up. They killed the stage, bro. They lit it
Killed
up,
the stage.
and it was amazing. It was amazing turnout. I don't
Right.
care how many people were in the crowd.
Well, again, you're cultivating something new, not only just for your people, but you're bringing awareness to people.
Just know, people, you'll
I
never.
didn't, yo,
you-
bro, I didn't even know y'all existed before that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know we don't have running water either.
I no, honestly, and I'm not calling it the res, but I'm just saying, like
Tuscarora Nation.
Tuscarora Nation.
There's a difference between a reservation and nation.
When I thought about nations, the only nation I knew of was the one in Belgium. Basin. Yeah. That's the only one.
And just so you guys know, the difference between a reservation and nation,
That I knew.
as a reservation is formatted by the federal government. It's a land separated. It's to put concentration camps, natives on there.
Yeah.
A nation is symbolizes unity. It symbolizes sovereignty. It symbolizes their own rights.
I'm still learning, so don't take that offense.
No. I didn't mean. This is education too. You know what I mean? But you know I like to do that. I love to teach.
So before that show, I didn't even know y'all was out here. You know what I'm saying? So imagine how many other people outside of this area are still learning. So imagine, yo, bro, you did a lot, bro. You brought awareness. You brought people.
And I mean,
Towards that, yo, from the first show to that last show, bro, that shit was crazy.
yeah, it was. Right, the second one that I planned was Redman and Method Man. You know what I mean? And it just,
You had no control over that.
no, I couldn't, bro.
And we
I
got to
mean,
be real. And for y'all that's watching, you got to be real too. If you planned on coming to that show and, they backed out, they didn't just back out.
it wasn't a back out, no.
Because if you were offered millions of dollars to shoot a movie, what are you going to go with? Right? You got to be real. That's what happened. They got offered to shoot a movie in fucking Brazil somewhere.
No, that was already pre-planned. It was just, it was just everything that happened with the COVID.
Just didn't line up.
It was just,
Yeah.
and
The movie that they got booked for, actually, it happened during COVID.
Yeah,
So
yep.
it just happened to fucking fall on when we booked them for the show.
So they get the call. The manager gets a call.
That's
saying,
the second show, by the way.
Yeah. And we have to go. We're not going to show up. If we get there and X, Y, it was a whole thing.
We learned about it that day, basically.
So that one right there was substitute with Jim Jones, Mano,
Ghostface,
The Lock,
Trife Diesel.
Trife D's.
I got to spin for all of them.
It was a blessing, man. And I got to thank K Woods, And
Shout
for
out K
those,
Woods.
absolutely. Make sure you go follow
Water team.
Make sure you go follow his foundation, man. His drive is very unique, similar to mine. Staten Island, he's putting them on the map in a unique way that the community is affected in a great way for him. So, like I said, if you guys really get a chance, the K Woods Foundation, make sure you go support it. Drop some dollars in there if you can. He got a very strong purpose. Also, we also got the Shack Brothers Foundation over here.
And we're all peers, but
so like
I gotta get to that level. I want to be able to do that because y'all doing big things for the communities, bro.
And that's where it starts.
Like your coat drive you just did and the toy drive. That shit was dope.
I mean, they need it, bro.
Yeah,
they need it. You know what I mean? It's listen. Like I said, I come from a person that was collecting cans and splitting woods, and it's not gonna stop me.
Right.
You know what I mean? In life, I know my goals. I know my obligations. I know what I have to do.
So just a quick recap. You grew up, troubled household,
Yep.
Left house at 13, y'all, 13 years old. Got in trouble, went to jail, got out of jail, changed your life, collected cans, and now you own fucking the Shack and the whole fairgrounds. That just goes to show, like, you could do anything you put your mind to.
It's not just me behind the Shack, though, either, people. You know what I mean? My brother, he likes to stay in the back. And
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
But you're an avid role in it. You know what I'm saying?
Within this year, we created a Warrior Records. We created a Tuscarora Fairgrounds. The Shack.
New single, DJ M80 and Project Pat and L Biz from Buffalo coming out real soon. First single under Warrior Records.
Absolutely.
By the way. Call me plug in.
Hey.
That's coming soon. That's coming soon.
Bro, I'm dying. The podcast.
Yeah.
What else? Construction.
The Shack Brothers Foundation.
Shack Brothers Foundation. Fairgrounds.
There's some more stuff.
Yeah.
And more stuff in the raps.
Oh, yeah.
More stuff in the raps.
Movies, books. Clothing.
Definitely the book.
Clothing.
Yeah, I gotta rock that Shack hat. I gotta get something to match it.
It's just funny, you know what I mean? It just opened a lot of eyes, and I'm thankful that I had the ability to have a unique team that we can sit there and be, you know what I mean, of one mind together.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially when you got all that thing going on. Me battling the Nation, you know what I mean? The Nation tried to shut me down at one of my concerts.
The first concert.
You know what I mean?
Remember that?
Yeah.
They was fucking, all the vendors were scared to vend.
So
all the vendors were scared to vend.
I've been facing with everything in its power could face me, like, and I still had the power to go through and keep going, and I will continue to do that no matter what.
Now that's king shit, yo.
And like I says, it's not done yet, people. My story is not done being told. You know what I mean? It's just getting started. You know, I'd like to give a special thanks, you know what I mean, to JP. I love you, brother.
Shout out JP. Word.
So,
And
but
your nephew, shout out your nephew. He's talented.
Yes.
We gotta reconnect.
Oh yeah, he's doing good. But we just put a hockey rink up, but a freaking windstorm took it.
Yo, yeah, we was talking. You also did the pumpkin, the hayride.
We did a Honda hayride.
So wait, are we gonna do that every year?
Every year, all these things that we've created, we're doing our.
So the
annual.
hayride.
We did a powwow. We did a traditional powwow.
dope.
You know what I mean? Everything that we did in this year is
For the
going to be
people.
repeat. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
That hayride, like I missed it because like I've been busy, obviously.
Understandable.
But next year I got to bring my kids. Like you shooting. You had people
We had
dressed
the
up like
zombie-
zombies, shooting them with paintballs. Like I wanna shoot some paintballs at zombies.
Honestly, it's funny because adults enjoyed it more than the kids. And there's some sick adults out there. I see you guys.
Freeze the paintballs. No. That's terrible.
Can you aim other ways besides his peanuts?
Right. Don't shoot me in the balls.
King James, you are the GOAT. Zombie apocalypse man.
Oh, he was one of the zombies.
He loved it, bro.
Yeah,
he
liked
loved
getting
it, bro.
shot.
Bro,
with
he loved
paintball?
it. He did it for the kids, bro.
That's dope.
The one the night after the first hayride. Yo, he looked like a giraffe, bro. He had dots all over him, bro. Everywhere, from head to toe. I'm just like,
Damn.
I'm like, bro. He says, no, I love.
Oh, that's
this.
another thing you forgot, bro. And I'm not cutting
Oh,
you
good.
off, but it reminds me of fall. You started a farm too, right?
Oh yeah, we do have a farm too. We just butchered our first cow.
More stuff for the people.
Yep. The purpose of the farm was a kid came to me and he wanted to. He brought me ice cream that he made. And he came to me and he says, "Hey Keith," he goes, "if you're interested, I'd like to start running a farm. And I make this ice cream." He goes, "I want to buy some cows that produce milk, and
Ice cream.
I want to buy cows that produce milk, and I want to buy a couple beef cows." I said, "That's a great idea." So along with those buildings that we created in the back, this coming year, 2023, we're going to open a farmer's market every weekend to the public. You know what I mean? Any local farmers are going to be able to come and, whatever you have and distribute and sell, interaction, networking every weekend here at the Tuscarora Fairgrounds also. So
That's how you put on for the people, yo.
So he came to me and he's like, let's get some food together and start making good food packages for our community. I said, hey, man, I love that idea.
It's fire.
I love that idea, man. So we went and purchased 6 cows. One of them was a bull. And for anybody that's looking for stud fees on a bull, you can also get in contact. Hey, contact the Red Goat.
Plug it in.
No, he is registered. I do have a bull that is registered.
That's dope.
So we opened a farm and we just butchered our first one. We butchered our first cow and our first 2 pigs. We had
dope.
12 pigs, 6 cows, like 13 turkeys, chickens, pheasants.
Wow. Pheasants?
Yeah.
Those are like
Really good eating.
what are them joints with the colorful?
Yeah. Those are the males. The males get those. Only in the wild.
What are those though? I've been drinking it. Yeah, peacocks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep,
So
peacocks.
they're in the same family.
Yes.
Talking about food, obviously, I just learned. So natives, Americans. Yep. You was telling me about and I gotta get one. A fucking moose burger or moose stew. What are some of the foods of your culture? So people
all
probably
natural.
don't even know.
Everything natural. You know what I mean?
Everything
we
of
really
earth.
don't believe in like the beef and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Moose is naturally fed itself to get that big. Where you look at a cow and he's force fed. Right. You know what I mean? So there's a difference inside the leanness. Anything of nature. You know what I mean?
On your farm, are your animals free range?
Yeah.
Free range. Yep. So that's natural too. You know what I mean?
I want to get into
So then
another
people from outside of here.
another
want some
territory
natural
just bought buffalo, and I want to buy some buffalo next. This coming year, we're gonna get some buffalo. We're gonna get some horses, and we want to do a lot more different things. Start offering more stuff for the community.
Yeah.
Because there's
Horse
none.
rides too.
Absolutely.
That'll be dope. My daughter, oh my God. My daughter's obsessed with horses, bro. I took my daughter, my son, and my other daughter to New York City. I have many children, but those 3 came with me. I took them to New York City, and my daughter, Melody, she seen the horse in the carriage. And mind you, we got to New York City, it was like 1 a.m. But me being the adventurous father I am, we were staying in Staten Island. You know what I mean? Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, fuck that. I want them to see the Statue of Liberty. So I put them on the ferry. So we took the ferry from Staten Island to Manhattan, and on the way from Staten Manhattan, you see the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And it's so dope at night too.
Light up, yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
it's lit up. So we get to Manhattan, then we jump on the subway, and we go to fucking Times Square. So by then, it was like 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. I got my kids, little kids out. You know what I mean? My daughter's obsessed with horses. She sees the pony, the horse in the carriage. And I'm like, I'm not putting you on this. It's late. It's like $150 or something crazy. And she threw the biggest fit. So, yeah, I'm going to have to bring her through. Y'all get some horses.
Yeah, we got, like I said, this year, the farm, we're really trying to take it off. You know, we just branched out and started expanding for helpers, I guess you could say, because the growth of it is starting to take off. And everything is doing really good. You know, it's not. Sometimes I just want to crawl into a hole and just fucking disappear.
The way of the businessman, man. There's no sleep.
Oh my goodness, guy!
I get no look. I got bags
Yo,
under my
listen,
eyes now. Like,
just before the pod, you know, we say come in here in summer, you know, right here.
I was knocked out, son. I knocked on the door, like, hey,
Bro, listen, man. Especially the way everything's been going, like, you know, what I mean, there's a lot that's evolving that I really can't talk about right now. This year's gonna, bro. 2023 is gonna be a fucking hit, people.
Big shit.
I hope you guys are ready. You know, what I mean, not just in music, not just. I mean, there's gonna be so much.
Tuscarora Fairgrounds, 5446 Walmart Road.
You already
Lewiston,
know.
New York. Plug it in.
So, but like I said, people, you know, that's a little bit about my story. You know, I can indulge in more. You know what I mean? But to me, it's just like, in a nutshell,
keep it for the book.
Yeah, and that's why to me I gotta really be mindful because my book is. It's gonna. I got a message, people. I got a message. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be told.
So those of you that don't understand, now you know how the shack derived. You know how one of the big boss man, you know his backstory. You wanted to know his backstory. You know his backstory.
I had a fucked up upbringing, you know what I mean? But
right.
It is possible, you know what I mean?
But
if you
fueled,
really want,
that upbringing turned you into the man you are today.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
We change.
A lot of us have been through some shit, but you got to think of where it put you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you took that and you basically, you know, it's the simplest thing, but you turn lemons into lemonade.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
For those that are in a position to possibly give somebody a second chance, you know what I mean? On a business aspect, do it. You know what I mean? If you're legitimate business, you know what I mean? Go for it. You know, hire those felons. Hire those people that, you know what I mean, really need the help because there's more grant money out there for you guys. You know what I mean?
Not only that, there's really people that want to change their life.
But I'm just saying, not because listen, not every felon wants to change their life. They just making it through every day. But if they get an opportunity that may change their life, they may never look back again, bro.
It could be that person that.
So that's what I'm saying. If you're a businessman and you're in type of position right now to get that second chance to the, you know what I mean, the felons and everything, have your attorneys and all your, you know what I mean, your business agents and all that look into the grants that are, you know what I mean, you get major kickbacks from the government for hiring felons.
Word.
You know what I mean? There's so much out there for business opportunities for hiring people with histories.
Word.
You know, so
talking about that, shout out to Mighty Fine Fashions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, the sky's the limits, bro.
Right.
Sky is the limits.
Proved that. You proved that in a year. You proved that in a year.
Yeah.
Never give up on your dreams.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Never give up on your. This podcast was one of your dreams.
Yeah, and
we made that shit happen.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember this real, man.
Yo, you built this fucking shit in 24 hours. Less than 20. Everything's always less than 24 hours.
I'm sorry, people. I'm a procrastinator. But
no, he's not a procrastinator because he's like, hey, 80. So let's build the podcast. Let's build it. All right, cool. You need this, and this. I bring the equipment. And, you know, the room that we're in, you know, needed some rehabilitation.
Major. I love you, cousins.
This dude had this shit done before I could even get here. So, yeah. Never give up on your dreams. Go hard.
Pierce Abrams, I know you're going to watch this episode and you're going to laugh. Red light, yellow light, green light, go!
That's your way.
There is no yellow and red with me. I mean, there is, you know what I mean? But it's
red
still,
then green.
It's still green, you know what I mean? That's
red then green. That's it. That's the way you got to do it.
That's it, people.
You got shit to do.
You know, you just stay ambitious, stay going, you know what I mean? And if you fail, don't be scared to fail, you know what I mean? Failure is just letting you know that you're learning.
Word.
You know, if you fail, you're doing something, man.
You need to fail to learn.
And don't be scared. Get yourself back up. Get yourself back up and just get on and go.
That's your shoulders off.
Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I mean? And don't do it to prove a point. You know what I mean? It's called learning lesson. You know what I mean? It happens for a reason.
Well, shit. So you have a new Instagram. I just added it.
The Instagram
and it's real. It's real, people. It's real.
The Red Goat.
At the Red Goat.
Yes.
Wait, the Red or the?
The THE dot Red RED Goat GOAT.
And then we got the Shack's page.
Make sure you guys are following the Shack.
Get that smoke.
We got an Instagram page and we got a regular page. You know what I mean? It has a listing of all of our products and everything.
What's the Instagram?
Shack0420. I believe it's in Facebook also. Tuscarora Fairgrounds is on Facebook.
At Tuscarora Fairgrounds.
Oh yeah, Tuscarora Fairgrounds. Trials and Tribulations
on Instagram. At Trials 2, the number 2.
The podcast platforms are all on what? Spotify.
Trials to Tribulations with the number 2.
Just make sure you're tuning in. And like I said, we got a lot of new stuff coming up. And people, it's going to be different. And, you know, thanks for taking the time and listening to the story. One thing I could speak about in life, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Keep chasing those dreams, you know what I mean? Just be real to yourself and let everything else fall into play.
Big shit. King shit. Now I know. I learned something today too, y'all. You know what I mean?
If you don't learn something a day, you're not doing nothing.
Word.
One thing.
Trials and Tribulations, DJ M80.
Thank you for tuning in, KP.
Peace.
Guess who can
You're
strip?
stepping down. I'm stepping you down right now.
Yep.
Why do I
I'm
have
stepping
no
you down
water?
right now.
Why do I
You
have
double
no
turn.
fucking septic? Because you guys don't take care of your people.
Hold on. The warrior chief is speaking. The warrior chief is speaking.